Riley's familiar with race cars. She's run a junior for a few years. What we're going to try to do here is build a little heat in it, listen to the motor. Okay, go ahead, hit it.
Get ready to go. There you go.
There you go.
Thank you.
As preparation continues, I don't know if we've ever touched on who our opponent's going to be here in round one. The strange part about it is we drew Jay Bodie first round, and he's got a badass setup. He's running really fast. We're going to need a lot of luck to beat this guy. He's a badass customer, but we have a badass team. We got a badass car, and we're not out of the hunt yet. We'll see what happens at the finish line.
Compared to last night it took it 8 seconds to spool on that 588 pass. And after we move the camshaft forward today, it's 6 seconds to get to the same place. And keep it in mind, when you go up to the starting line, because you start the car, you do the burnout, you're putting heat in the turbine housing and the turbine wheel and the exhaust and all the pipes. And they're hotter there than they are here, which means they absorb less of the heat in the exhaust gas, so it's available to spool the turbo faster. So what I'm saying is it'll spool faster on the starting line than it spools here.
Yeah, and then we have these Inconel shells around our exhaust housings, well, on purpose to hold the heat into the turbine housing and protect our crew from the heat on that. So it should hold the heat from the burnout a little bit better, exactly what Shane's saying. So it surely wasn't going to be worse than 6 seconds, but we got a competitive race car. We're really worried about the spooling against Jay Bodie. Honestly, we just got to pull out every ace because we got a long shot. Like I said before, it's going to be a mountain to climb to beat him. Don't forget our target that we're trying to hit. We're trying to hit 264 miles an hour. This could be our last run here. We got a little something in the tune-up, and we just got to keep the car together A to B, and I think we're going to be happy with the results.
I made a change to the starting line because that's going to give me the biggest bang for the buck on ET if we can get our 106 back. That puts us 4 numbers ahead of what we ran last night. Plus, I kind of took it out of total safe mode in the back half of the racetrack, so I'm hoping it'll run a little bit better. Maybe it won't, unless we get lucky. So if we can at least hit our targets, even if we go out, that's like job well done, So even if it isn't, like, job well done anyway, because this thing's thrown us like every possible curveball you could ever throw at somebody.
At the starting line, when we go out there and wind light is in our lane, we're gonna be jumping like 5 feet in the air. All of us, even Tecklenburg will probably be jumping a little bit, but
I can't get as high.
No, we need to work
too massive.
Did you do your jumping jacks today?
I didn't do any today.
Okay. Well,
this is the part where moving the camshaft ahead makes a difference. This difference between the purple line and the white line, that's engine speed climbing up over time. So it's climbing through that section a lot faster, which is why it spools faster, because it gets to more airflow faster. Right? So it's up here doing this with the manifold pressure, and last night it was way over there. And last night had the advantage of doing the burnout and then sitting there while we had to turn the air bottle on and all that other shit, and it still was a big hunk of shit. Today's way better.
We're hearing a rumor here that Jay Bodie might not be able to make the call for E1 here. We're not sure, that's not official, but we just rolled by their pits. They have the valve covers off the car. They're working on the engine feverishly, so a little bit more time will roll by, and I think that'll probably time will tell. But gosh, we hope we can get that thing put together here. We're just looking forward to running them. We don't want to win E1 by a solo run, that's for sure, or by whatever you want to call it.
It's possible that we're not going to be opposed in this round because our opponent is actually entered in another class that he wants to win, and he only really entered Vermont to get some test runs. So he may not come up. We're going to wait for him in case he does want to come up.
We're going to stage the car completely, wait for the tree to come down and let go of the button. And we just pray that it goes all the way to the end without any heartburn. And if it does that, we'll be happy with the number, then we go on to E2.
like coming down, you know, when it's slowing down, it wants to just stall because it's locked.
Well, we better hope for about 2 or 3 hours to service that. 585, 260, that's our fastest, so Ed's the fastest in the Sorceress now. He beat out Donnie by a half a mile an hour, I believe, because our old speed was 260.01. It takes a lot of steam to go 260 in a quarter of a mile, and it's there. Our hot rod's still all together, but we do have to service the lockup converter, so that could take us some time. 107, that's pretty good. We really stepped it up. Ran a 396 to the 8th at 204. 585 at 260.56. Nice job, Eddie. Got the ticket, baby. All for a stupid piece of paper.
Pretty good. It actually felt better. I thought it would be faster. Shoots it pretty hard.
We got to hurry up and service this torque converter. It's going to be extremely hot, so we're going to try to get the torque converter out as soon as we can and see how much time we got. Maybe we can make this work.
Just checking. Everything looking all right? So far, so good.
So the lockup stuck itself together, basically welded itself, the clutch inside the converter on that last run. So if you've ever had a stick shift car and forgot to put the clutch in when you went to a stop, you know, the car bucks and jerks and the engine dies, and that's what happened when we turned off the track. So we had to take that converter out. We have a spare, but it doesn't have the same parts. We had to swap the parts from the inside of the one, put them in the spare. Now it's going back together. We're going to stick it back in the car and go up there for round 2 and see if we can put up another W on the scoreboard.
Try to get it done.
There. I got it.
Here we are, we're getting ready for E2. The only thing we found that we needed to service was the torque converter. The lockup has got clutch plates in it. It's been slowly getting worse. We've had it in there for races. We've been in there street driving around several times. We knew it was about ready to go, and that's why the mile per hour was only 260.5 last time, because we gave it some more snot than that. So it actually might jump up quite a bit. Hopefully it does. Hopefully another 4 miles an hour is what we'd like to see. So we're about ready to try out. We're going up the lanes right now. Carl, I gotta ask you something. Can I ask you for a favor?
Sure.
Can I have my shit back?
Just take it off.
That'd be nice. Let these motherfuckers wait around 6.5 hours and then go, nah, never mind.
Man,
Get my
we're glad
fucking
to help you
turbo
out,
back.
man. Yeah, fuck yeah. Fuck, we love it. We come out here to have some fun, man. So that's fun. Yeah, you got it. flames throughout this fucking right
And
side.
the burst panels aren't
Yeah, no, it's fucking
out of it.
No, it's out the right side.
It looked fucking stout leaving the starting line.
Yeah.
It looked 107, but it looked good.
No, we had all the right tune-up.
And it made it through that spot that we were worried about. Like it made it.
You know that.
It started mixing something up and then boom!
I could hear it go, "Grrr," and there was a massive flame on the right-hand side. Like, ooh, that's not good. And then I'm guessing it's got enough crankcase pressure that it can't drain back, and it just fucking pumps oil in the exhaust on the header and the turbo.
And he blew the freaking other turbo up probably.
Did he?
Yeah, didn't you see his?
No.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, I thought it was all. I actually turned around as soon as yours went on fire. I ran the fuck off the starting line.
We had a small smoke show.
Yeah, ours was nothing.
The whole left lane just.
I could almost not see where I was going.
Oh yeah, you can see the Illuma dust.
It'll either burn the block or it'll burn the head. It'll torch it, it'll find a spot, and then once it finds oxygen, it just keeps feeding it, burns it just like a cutting torch. You get it hot and then it'll start going. Yeah. That's what happens when you lean on them. We'll give it another shot next time. We'll get this thing healed up and got a good weekend. Our top speed 260.56.
That is awesome.
Our personal best there, second personal at 585. So we'll be back.
We had a couple minutes to think about what was going on, look at the data a little bit, notice that the number 2 cylinder goes out before the 330, right? And our problems with fireballs happening at the 8th, not the 330. So looking at the cylinder head, we ripped the valve cover off, of course, and sure enough, we've had another rapid unintended disassembly of the valve train that happened on a number 2 cylinder, knocked the intake rockers laying in the bottom of the top of the cylinder head, and the exhaust rockers bent over on a 45-degree angle. So our valve train problem led to this overall issue. So yes, of course, I had turned it up, but the fact that it lost 1 cylinder's worth of boost or 1 cylinder's worth of airflow means it gained some more boost unintentionally, and that no doubt led to some portion of the destruction after that. So we obviously need to fix the valve train issue, and we've got 2 experts here that we're going to work with that are going to help us fix it for next time so that we don't have these problems.
Well, and you got plenty of room to come up here, right, and miss the push rod and come over here and connect to that kind of.
Yeah. You really have to come into it with an open mind.
Not what
Yeah,
everybody
that's
else
what
has done.
the
It's
first
like,
thing is to digitize it, see the three-dimensional
Yeah,
world
the
that we're
planes.
in,
Yep.
and then see what we want to do from there, like you say, connecting, and then so what can connect, what can't, and then you don't have to have a constraint of dealing with what you already have there, but we'll start with that as a known spot and see if it's usable or not. You know.
Hey guys, coming to a close here at Streetcar Super Nationals here in Las Vegas. What a trip. We were out, we went to California, and we did some work with Hoonigans. That video will probably be of all the crazy stuff we did there. It's probably going to drop in the next few weeks or so. So I can't wait to see that myself. And then we went from there, we went over to Chino to we're actually, our home team is actually based kind of out of. It's like Ed's the driver. It's his race shop. I mean, Ed's manufactured a lot of parts in his car. And then you got Shane right down the street from him. You know, and Shane's always been part of my brainchild think process of how we're going to put this hot rod together 8 years ago. And it's like those guys are living there. And I've never came to California before and met their family, so that was pretty exciting. We went from there over to Pomona. We actually drove the car there, as you recall. Went to Pomona, went to the World Finals there at NH Race track. And what fun that was. We went down the track. We ran a fast time out there and a fast speed, and really a lot of fun. And I think we're invited back there, so possibly the Winter Nationals in February. Just stay tuned. We're going to drop some video on that and some probably some news feed on that. And I don't think that's going to be that far out because NHRA is really excited. We want to do some preliminary work prior to the Winter Nationals as far as who our opponent will be and what we're going to do and the tricks we're going to have up our sleeve. So then we fast forward downtown Monday night here in Las Vegas, the Strip. Oh my God, how fun was that for 2 hours driving the Strip up and down, back and forth. just certainly a bucket list thing for any kind of hot rod underneath the lights, and it was really cool to have that out there. And then we came out here to Streetcar Super Nationals, and I tell you what, we entered the Pro Mod class. I think there was 15 cars. We qualified 8th, and we put up a hell of a fight. We went, first round was solo. Jay Bodie did not answer the call. I think he was doing some maintenance issues on his car. We ran a 585 at 260.56 miles an hour. Our personal best on a speed. You leave a track, if every time you do whatever it is, and you do better and you hit your target, it's always a great feeling, and we're certainly happy with that. And I got to remind y'all, I did it with a borrowed crew. It was Doug and I on our own out here trying to make it all work, and boy did we work feverishly. And I want to thank a lot of people, starting with Doug. Him and his son Max were awesome. We started winning when Max was high-fiving me and said good luck, and I think he's got to come along to every event. And Doug's done everything. Whatever orders were barked out, Doug would jump to it and had a great attitude. Then we go out to Ed. What a fantastic job. Thanks, Ed, for giving us all these things. He did a fantastic job, went right on down Broadway every time. It's a great car. We have a good tune-up. We can run 5s consistently now, so how fantastic is that? Because it was only 1 year ago, right now, that we ran our first 5-second quarter mile. Exactly a year ago here at Streetcar Super Nationals. Then I go over to Shane. Shane made it all happen. Really something to understand, and I think the best way for you to do that is go back and watch the videos and watch how good of a coach he is. He's an intelligent guy. He's a well-run enough guy that he knows how to make things happen other than just even the car mechanics of it stuff. He can bring an analogy to it and sum it up as a good wordsmith and make it happen and make it fundamentally smart so he can make the right decisions. And you'll see that. It's I think those videos are going to be around for a long time because each one gave a new insight to something technically that people only guess at, and the answers are there. And I appreciate all my fans out there. Oh my God. So going by that stands each time, honking the horn, they're screaming. I get how addicting this is because that was a lot of fun, and I appreciate all their help. So we have Doug Stewart. Doug Stewart became our new crew chief overnight, came in here, dropped what he's got a daytime job, you know, dropped everything he's doing, came in here and made this thing work. It's like, he's used to working on high dollar professional teams, and wow, did I learn a lot. And then Derek came along from D-Bar-D Racing as well and did a great job. Ramon from SU Sand Cars, that's Ed's partner, you know, and anything that needed manufactured, he was like jumping at it. He knew what needed to be done. There was no question that he'd jump right to it. Whatever we asked, Ramon was a fantastic asset too. That's how it works, boys and girls. That's pretty cool, huh? That's neat. Just like that. Hey, now just, can you,
Circus is leaving.
Yeah, it is a circus, you got that right. Ed's son Race, helping us for a while, as a great asset. He couldn't make it over to Vegas. We had a great video crew here. We had James and Sean, so that's pretty cool. You guys came out and documented some of my journey, and I'll be able to forever look at that and look back on it and see how painful this really was. How much and you guys kicked in a lot, holy smokes. I guess in closing, to get a world record, it's a long journey, you don't know what's gonna happen, and Andy Frost still is reigning king in the mile per hour number, and Tom Bailey in the ET number. So that saga will continue on, and we're gonna enjoy the journey along the way. We have some things now that we're going to be improving on. We're excited, we have a plan. So we're gonna get back home to Butte, Iowa, and we're gonna disassemble a couple things. We're gonna start understanding why we're breaking bolts on the rocker arms. So we're gonna try to get into the Spintron and learn about harmonics and what our weaknesses are, and hopefully we can improve on that. So we've already begun that process by bringing out one of our spare cylinder heads and just super analyzing it, and working with Ben at EFI University. He's got the right tools to read stuff with the Spintron. He's already here. We've already started a program with him, and we're actually in the middle of a meeting right now trying to discuss our objectives and our goals and what needs to happen next. Pretty excited about that actually, because I think we get to the next level with things and make things more dependable, more robust. So thanks everybody for all your support. Thanks for watching all the videos on YouTube, and thanks for staying along the journey. So we're far from over, and we're going to regroup here. We'll be back in touch and we'll keep you posted. Thanks for everything. Bye.